Hi, I'm Norm Abram. Welcome to the new Yankee Workshop. Hi, I'm Norm Abram. Welcome to the new Yankee Workshop. Hi, I'm Norm Abram. Welcome to the new Yankee Workshop.
Did you also think the show had just come to an end? I did. But so there seems to have been a lot more going on behind the scenes. For over 2 decades, the new Yankee Workshop was a staple in the world of woodworking television, offering practical, step-by-step instructions to woodworkers of all skill levels. Hosted by the skilled and soft-spoken master craftsman Norm Abram, the show helped transform woodworking from a niche hobby into a widely accessible one. However, after 21 successful seasons, the new Yankee Workshop came to an unexpected end in 2009. Fans were left wondering why such a popular and influential show would suddenly vanish from the airwaves. Was it the rise of digital content? Did Norm Abram decide it was time to retire? Or was there something more shady at play? Airing from 1989 to 2009, the new Yankee Workshop became one of the most beloved DIY programs on television, with fans tuning in weekly to learn new techniques and gather inspiration for their own woodworking projects. Abram's approachable teaching style and emphasis on safety, craftsmanship, and proper tool usage made the show not only informative, but also enjoyable. It wasn't just about making furniture, it was about instilling a love for the craft. The origins of the new Yankee Workshop trace back to the success of another beloved show, This Old House. Norm Abram, a skilled carpenter from Massachusetts, made his first television appearance as a regular on This Old House in 1979. His craftsmanship and calm, educational approach quickly made him a favorite among viewers, earning him widespread recognition. Abram's natural ability to teach and explain complex projects in an accessible way was one of the driving forces behind the popularity of This Old House. It wasn't long before producers recognized that Abram's talent for woodworking could stand on its own. In 1989, they launched the new Yankee Workshop as a spin-off, with a focus entirely on woodworking projects. The show was filmed in Abram's own workshop in a historic barn in Massachusetts, which gave the program a warm, inviting atmosphere. From the very first episode, the show set itself apart by combining modern tools and equipment with traditional craftsmanship, making it a hit with both beginner and seasoned woodworkers. The idea behind the show was simple: take everyday projects that could be replicated by viewers at home and demonstrate how to complete them step by step. Each episode centered on a specific project, whether it was a table, chair, or cabinet, and viewers followed along as Abram skillfully explained each stage of the process. His clear explanations, combined with the detailed camera work, ensured that even complex techniques were understandable. The new Yankee Workshop stood out from other DIY and woodworking shows of its time due to its unique blend of practical instruction and creativity. One of the most distinctive elements of the show was Abram's approach to tools and technology. While some woodworking shows focus solely on hand tools, the new Yankee Workshop embraced a balanced mix of both traditional tools and modern power tools. This approach made woodworking more accessible to the average viewer, who may not have had a fully equipped workshop. Abram's philosophy was simple: use the best tools available to get the job done efficiently and accurately. The projects featured on the show were also chosen with accessibility in mind. Abram carefully selected designs that appealed to a broad audience, ranging from simple bookshelves and garden furniture to more intricate pieces like shaker-style tables and colonial cabinets. These projects were diverse enough to attract beginners while still offering advanced techniques for seasoned woodworkers looking to refine their skills. Another key feature of the show was the project plans that were made available to viewers. Every project came with detailed blueprints, which could be purchased, allowing viewers to replicate Abram's designs exactly. This combination of hands-on instruction and take-home plans gave viewers the tools they needed to successfully complete their own projects, fostering a sense of achievement and creativity. Beyond the projects, Abram's teaching style was a significant factor in the show's success. He had a calm, reassuring presence that made even the most daunting tasks feel manageable. His patience in explaining each step, from cutting wood to assembling the final piece, ensured that no viewer felt left behind. He emphasized safety and proper tool use, reminding viewers to take their time and enjoy the process. This educational approach made the new Yankee Workshop more than just a TV show. It became a valuable resource for hobbyists and professionals alike. The impact of the new Yankee Workshop on the woodworking and DIY community cannot be overstated. At a time when most television focused on entertainment, the new Yankee Workshop was purely educational, inspiring viewers to build their own furniture and tackle home improvement projects. Abram's straightforward instruction helped demystify woodworking for a generation of people who may have otherwise been intimidated by the craft. The show also contributed to the resurgence of interest in traditional woodworking techniques, such as mortise and tenon joints, dovetailing, and hand finishing. At the same time, it introduced viewers to the possibilities of using modern equipment to speed up certain tasks, demonstrating that woodworking could be both an art and a science. Many fans of the show found themselves drawn to woodworking as a hobby, setting up their own workshops and purchasing tools based on Abram's recommendations. The show created a wave of enthusiasm for DIY projects, and its influence extended beyond woodworking into other areas of home improvement and craftsmanship. In the woodworking community, the new Yankee Workshop also became a point of reference for high-quality craftsmanship. It introduced viewers to concepts like fine joinery, precision measurements, and the importance of design. Abram's dedication to his craft and the show's consistent quality helped elevate woodworking to an art form that went beyond mere utility. At the heart of the new Yankee Workshop was its host, Norm Abram, whose expertise and authenticity set him apart from many other television personalities. Abram wasn't just a television host. He was a master craftsman with decades of hands-on experience in woodworking. His deep knowledge of the craft was evident in every episode, from the careful selection of materials to his meticulous attention to detail in every project. Abram's talent for breaking down complex woodworking techniques into simple, understandable steps made him a mentor to countless viewers. Abram's role went beyond simply demonstrating how to build furniture. He introduced viewers to the rich history of woodworking, often incorporating traditional joinery techniques and classic designs into his projects. He regularly explained the origins of different styles, whether it was shaker, mission, or colonial, adding an educational layer to the show. For Abram, woodworking wasn't just about building things. It was about honoring the traditions of the craft and passing those skills on to the next generation. His calm, steady presence in the workshop was one of the reasons viewers connected with him so deeply. Abram's approachability made viewers feel like they were learning alongside a friend, rather than being instructed by an unreachable expert. His mistakes were never hidden, and he often used them as teaching moments, showing how to correct errors and encouraging viewers to be patient with their own projects. This authenticity was key to his influence, as it made woodworking feel achievable for everyone, not just seasoned professionals. One of the defining elements of the new Yankee Workshop was its emphasis on the use of tools. Abram was known for his vast collection of both traditional hand tools and modern power tools, and he often spent time explaining the proper use of each tool for specific tasks. This blend of old and new methods was a major draw for the audience, as it appealed to woodworkers of all skill levels. Abram's workshop was outfitted with everything from chisels and hand planes to state-of-the-art table saws and routers, offering viewers a comprehensive look at how different tools could be used to achieve professional results. What set Abram apart from many other TV personalities was his deep respect for craftsmanship. He didn't just use tools for efficiency, he used them to elevate the quality of his work. He often emphasized the importance of choosing the right tool for the job, explaining how the wrong choice could lead to poor results or even safety hazards. His instruction on tool safety became a hallmark of the show, as he frequently reminded viewers to prioritize safety over speed when working in the shop.
Understand and follow all the safety rules that come with your power tools.
The new Yankee Workshop also focused heavily on teaching viewers proper techniques. Abram took time to explain the principles behind everything he did, from the importance of precise measurements to the intricacies of joinery. Viewers learned how to cut dovetails, create mortise and tenon joints, and execute complex designs that would otherwise seem out of reach. For many, these techniques were the foundation of their own woodworking journeys, and Abram's step-by-step instructions gave them the confidence to try projects they had once considered too difficult. Abram also taught viewers about different types of wood, explaining how the grain, texture, and strength of various species could affect a project. His thoughtful approach to material selection helped viewers understand that woodworking wasn't just about cutting and assembling pieces. It was about respecting the natural properties of the materials being used. This holistic approach made Abram a trusted authority, not just on how to use tools, but but on how to approach the entire process of woodworking. Beyond the confines of the New Yankee Workshop, Norm Abram's influence extended far and wide. His popularity led to several book deals, where he shared detailed project plans, woodworking tips, and insights into his craft. These books became valuable resources for fans of the show and woodworkers alike, allowing them to explore projects at their own pace.
Everything is in here that they need, all the materials and pieces they have to get.
His writings, much like his on-screen persona, were approachable and thorough, filled with practical advice that made even the most challenging tasks seem achievable. Abram also became a sought-after speaker at woodworking events, trade shows, and home improvement expos. His presence at these gatherings was a major draw for enthusiasts eager to learn. From the man who had taught them so much through their TV screens, Abram's influence in these spaces further solidified his status as a woodworking icon, bridging the gap between television personality and genuine industry expert. His contributions to the world of woodworking also extended to his involvement in various charitable and educational initiatives. Abram used his platform to promote woodworking education, encouraging schools to incorporate shop classes and vocational training programs. He believed that woodworking could be both a fulfilling hobby and a viable career path, and he advocated for the preservation of these skills in an increasingly digital world. Even after the New Yankee Workshop ended, Abram's impact continued to ripple through the woodworking community. His influence is evident in the rise of online woodworking communities, YouTube channels dedicated to the craft, and the continued popularity of DIY home improvement shows. Norm Abram's legacy is that of a craftsman who not only taught people how to build, but also instilled in them a deep appreciation for the artistry of woodworking. By the mid-2000s, the media landscape was undergoing a significant transformation. The rise of the internet and digital platforms like YouTube began to change the way people consumed content, especially in the realm of DIY and instructional videos. For decades, the New Yankee Workshop had been a go-to source for woodworking advice. But as online resources became more accessible and abundant, the traditional TV format began to feel outdated for a growing segment of the audience. YouTube, in particular, revolutionized the way woodworking content was distributed and consumed. Woodworkers and DIY enthusiasts were no longer limited to tuning in to specific time slots to catch Norm Abram on TV. Instead, they could search for specific projects or techniques on demand, with countless free tutorials at their fingertips. Online creators started posting their own woodworking videos, offering an immediacy and interaction that TV couldn't provide. These creators often filmed themselves in real time, showing not just the successes but the mistakes and corrections, providing an unfiltered view of the woodworking process. The rise of these digital platforms meant that viewers could find tutorials tailored to their skill level, interest, and tools. This shift also encouraged the growth of communities around creators, where viewers could ask questions, share their progress, and learn from each other. These interactive features were something traditional television struggled to compete with. This change in how people access DIY content signaled a broader trend in entertainment. Audiences were seeking more control over what, when, and how they watched. The convenience and variety of online platforms made them increasingly appealing, especially to younger, tech-savvy viewers who preferred immediate access to niche content. As the television industry evolved, the New Yankee Workshop faced increasing competition not only from the internet, but also from newer woodworking shows and a rapidly growing number of DIY-focused digital content creators. These newer shows often adopted a more entertainment-driven approach, blending elements of drama, speed challenges, and flashy visuals to attract broader audiences. While Abram's approach was more instructional and methodical, these new formats focused less on education and more on spectacle. Many of these modern woodworking shows were less about teaching detailed techniques and more about showcasing dramatic transformations or building competitions. This shift reflected a broader change in television programming, where the emphasis moved from purely educational content to more entertaining reality show formats. For viewers who preferred a quick, entertaining watch rather than an in-depth learning experience, these newer shows offered instant gratification. Additionally, online content creators were capitalizing on this trend by offering bite-sized tutorials and project updates that were more digestible than a full-length television episode. With platforms like YouTube, creators could connect directly with their audiences, often responding to to comments, taking project requests, and offering more personalized content. These creators, many of whom had no formal background in television, were able to produce content at a fraction of the cost of a TV show, allowing them to focus on niche projects or unique woodworking styles that appealed to specific audiences. As more content flooded the digital space, the woodworking community diversified. There was something for everyone, whether viewers wanted step-by-step tutorials, quick tips, or complex design projects. This increase in available content provided alternatives to traditional TV shows, like the new Yankee Workshop, slowly drawing viewers away from the television screen and onto their devices. By the late 2000s, the format of traditional instructional television began to struggle across various genres, not just woodworking. Viewers' preferences were shifting towards more entertainment-focused content, and networks began to prioritize shows that drew in larger, more general audiences. As a result, many purely educational shows, like the new Yankee Workshop, found it increasingly difficult to maintain the same level of viewership they once enjoyed.
So today I thought I'd introduce you to my workshop helpers. They're great. They don't take lunch breaks, and they work long hours without complaining. You'll meet them next, right here in the new Yankee Workshop.
Additionally, networks began to favor content that could appeal to younger audiences and advertisers, leading to a surge in reality TV, competitions, and more sensationalist DIY programs. Shows that focus solely on education, such as Abram's step-by-step woodworking projects, were seen as less engaging for the broader, entertainment-driven audience that television networks sought to capture.
Now, before we use any power tools, let's take a moment to talk about shop safety. Be sure to read, understand, and follow all the safety rules that come with your power tools.
The slower, methodical nature of educational shows didn't provide the same immediate payoff that fast-paced, dramatic formats could offer. For the new Yankee Workshop, this shift in programming trends meant it had to compete not only with digital platforms, but also with TV shows that took a very different approach to DIY content. As woodworking became more popular on television, newer shows often used challenges, time constraints, and even interpersonal drama to attract a wider audience, leaving instructional shows like Abram's feeling more niche by comparison. Ultimately, this evolution in viewer preferences and the industry's changing priorities made it difficult for the new Yankee Workshop to maintain its place in the television landscape. Although the show had a loyal fan base, the broader audience's appetite for more fast-paced and entertaining content became a significant factor in the show's eventual conclusion. After more than 2 decades of hosting the new Yankee Workshop, Norm Abram had reached a pivotal point in his life and career. Filming over 20 seasons of the show required an immense amount of work, including designing new projects, filming detailed tutorials, and managing the demands of television production. For Abram, the intensity of producing a weekly series took a toll. He had been in the public eye since the late 1970s, first gaining recognition on This Old House. And after many years of filming, he felt it was time to step back and reevaluate his priorities. Abram was known for his dedication to craftsmanship and woodworking, but he was also a private individual who valued his personal time. As the years went on, the relentless production schedule became increasingly difficult to balance with his desire to spend time with his family and pursue other personal interests. Abram had built a remarkable career, but by the late 2000s, he was ready for a change of pace, a more relaxed lifestyle where he could enjoy the fruits of his labor without the pressures of weekly television. Another key factor in Abram's decision to step away from the show was his love for woodworking as a personal passion. While the show allowed him to share that passion with millions of viewers, it also required him to work on projects according to the demands of a production schedule rather than at his own pace. Abram had expressed in interviews that he found joy in taking his time with a project, experimenting with designs, and perfecting his craft without deadlines looming.
And I hope that with the help of this videotape and the measure drawing that you'll be able to build one too. Now here are some of the other new Yankee projects that you can build right in your own home workshop.
After decades of sharing his expertise with the world, Abram wanted to return to woodworking on his own terms, free from the cameras and the constraints of television production. In addition, Abram was keenly aware that he had helped popularize woodworking for an entire generation of enthusiasts. With the rise of online content, he recognized that his influence would continue even without a weekly television show. By the time the new Yankee Workshop ended, Abram had built a legacy that could sustain itself, and he felt comfortable transitioning into a quieter phase of his life. Producing a long-running television show like The New Yankee Workshop comes with its own set of challenges. While the series was beloved by fans and widely respected in the DIY and woodworking communities, keeping the content fresh after more than 20 seasons proved increasingly difficult. Even for a craftsman as talented as Norm Abram, finding new projects to build and new techniques to showcase became a creative challenge. After so many years, the question loomed: how many more episodes could the show produce without repeating itself? The challenge of coming up with original projects season after season added to the strain on Abram and the production team. They had covered everything from beginner-level projects like simple furniture to more advanced builds such as detailed cabinetry and custom woodwork. As the show neared its 21st season, the pressure to keep surprising and engaging the audience became harder to manage. Moreover, the demands of television production could be grueling. A single episode of The New Yankee Workshop required extensive planning, multiple takes, and long hours in the workshop to capture every stage of the build. While the final product appeared seamless to viewers, the process behind the scenes was far more time-consuming. Abram's natural ability to teach made the show look effortless, but the work required to maintain such a high level of quality became a burden as the years went on. Burnout was a very real concern, not just for Abram, but for the entire production team. After 21 seasons of woodworking projects, tight filming schedules, and the logistical challenges of producing a weekly show, it became clear that continuing the series indefinitely wasn't sustainable. Although Abram loved teaching, the time had come to prioritize his personal well-being and take a step back from the rigors of television. In the final years of The New Yankee Workshop, Norm Abram began reflecting on the balance between work and life. Having spent much of his career in front of the camera, he recognized that retirement from television didn't mean retiring from woodworking altogether. Abram saw his decision to step back as a way to reclaim more personal time while continuing to do what he loved, woodworking, at his own pace. Abram's choice to leave the show was met with understanding from his loyal fan base. He had dedicated decades to sharing his skills with the world, and viewers recognized that he had more than earned the right to enjoy a slower, quieter life. His decision to retire from television allowed him to focus on woodworking as a passion, rather than as a job tied to tight deadlines and production schedules. Ultimately, Abram's departure marked the end of an era in educational woodworking television. It wasn't driven by any major controversy or network decision, but rather by a personal desire for change. Abram's graceful exit reflected his character, a humble craftsman who had given so much to his audience and was now ready to enjoy the next phase of his life. His legacy, however, remained intact, as his contributions to the world of woodworking would continue to inspire and influence generations to come. In 2009, The New Yankee Workshop came to a quiet but respectful end after an impressive 21-season run. Unlike many television shows that face abrupt cancellations due to dwindling ratings or behind-the-scenes conflicts, the end of The New Yankee Workshop was handled gracefully, with a sense of closure for both Norm Abram and his loyal audience. The decision to end the show was primarily based on Abram's desire to step back from the demands of weekly television production after decades of service to the woodworking community. There was no dramatic farewell episode or public fanfare surrounding the show's conclusion. Instead, the final episode aired in its usual informative and practical style, featuring one last woodworking project that reflected the essence of the show. Fans were saddened by the announcement, but respected Abram's decision, understanding that after more than 2 decades of inspiring woodworkers and teaching valuable skills, he had earned the right to slow down and focus on personal projects. The History Channel and This Old House producers praised Abram for his contributions, acknowledging the cultural and educational impact the New Yankee Workshop had made on woodworking and DIY communities. While there were no formal plans for a continuation or revival of the series, fans were left with a wealth of content, over 200 episodes and detailed project plans available online and through DVDs. The end of The New Yankee Workshop marked the close of an important chapter in both television and woodworking culture. For over 2 decades, Norm Abram's calm expertise and dedication to the craft made woodworking accessible to countless viewers, sparking a love for DIY and fine craftsmanship across the world. The show's practical, step-by-step approach set a standard for educational television, and Abram's influence extended far beyond the screen. Unlike many television shows that face abrupt or controversial endings, The New Yankee Workshop came to a respectful and intentional close. Norm Abram's decision to retire from the demands of weekly television production wasn't born of scandal or falling ratings. It was a personal choice, made after years of dedication to his craft craft and to his viewers. He recognized the need to step back, spend more time with family, and enjoy woodworking at his own pace. Norm Abram may have stepped back from the spotlight, but his legacy in woodworking will endure for as long as there are craftsmen eager to learn and build.